So here I am again, Yvonne DiVita from BlogPaws, talking to my BlogPawsers who are coming to the Phoenix event in June. And I have a special guest today. Her name is Denise Fleck. She is part of Cat Writers, speaking at a Cat Writers panel. And Denise, before we get into your panel and into the many, many busy things you're doing, I just can't believe everything that you're doing. Before we do that, why don't you tell people a little bit about you and about Sunny Dog Inc.?
Well, thank you, Yvonne. It's bow wow wonderful to be here. I should say perfectly wonderful to be here, so I don't offend any of my species here because I love them all. And I basically have gone to the dogs, the cats, the rabbits over the last 16 years. I was a former studio publicist who got tired of feeding human egos and hoped to make a difference. And I jumped on the bandwagon and started learning everything I could about teaching pet first aid and CPR when my own yellow Labrador, Sunny, hence my company, Sunny Dog Inc., suffered a back injury. And I have, done rescue work, I have trained, I have practiced, I have, done a little bit more training and a lot more practice. And I have taught 10,000 animal lovers how to rescue over or help Fluffy feel better before they can get to a veterinarian. So it really does my heart good to get the stories back of how people have been able to jump to the task. And one thing has led to another. I also teach pet disaster preparedness training. I teach how to care for your senior pets. And the shelter I was volunteering at asked me to take over an animal care class. So I had to get my state teaching credentials. And for 6 years now, I've been teaching high school animal care. And what I learned, Yvonne, is that what I would share with my students, they would take home and tell their parents. And we all know kids don't always listen to their parents, but parents do listen to their kids. And when I was teaching them things simply like just reading a pet food label, the parents then affected changes and were buying better pet food for their dogs and cats. So that led me on a path to writing children's books because I figured I'm reaching multiple generations and hopefully affecting better lives for the animals.
Awesome. And that is one of the most truthful statements, that the kids go home and talk to the parents and then the parents do something. And that's something I'm very passionate about because I think the next generation coming up, they need you. They need what you're doing. They need more of what you're doing so that when they get to be parents, they can then pass that on and also continue having this in schools. This is exciting for me. So because we have limited time today, I would love to go on and on about that. That's wonderful. I can't wait to meet you at BlogPaws and talk further about it. Tell us a little bit about the panel you're going to be on and what that's all about.
Oh, that's so exciting. I'm honored to be on the Fear-Free panel with Dr. Becker and Colleran. And I am not a veterinarian. I don't even play one on TV, but my role is basically to help people help their pets before they can get to the veterinarian.
Yeah.
As much as we'd like to, we don't have a veterinarian Velcro to our hip 24/7. And, it's Murphy's Law. If you live with 10 people in your house, you're going to be home alone, and it's going to be after veterinarian hours when the cat cuts her paw or the dog isn't breathing. So, we are our pet's best friend. But what I really try to do is teach people to make their groomer, their trainer, and ultimately their veterinarian their pet's second best friend by doing things at home, by practicing some first aid skills, even when they're not needed, by teaching them to do head-to-tail checkups of their pet at home so they're used to being touched by humans, so that the whole veterinary experience doesn't become so fearful for the pets. We know in particular a lot of cats don't get the help they need because it's such a traumatic thing. All you have to do is go on YouTube and search, cat went ballistic at the vet, and there are tons of videos.
Oh my gosh. I can tell you I used to, many years ago, work as a veterinary assistant at a cat hospital. And we called the cats that were difficult the care cats because they needed extra care. And there were some that we just couldn't handle. If the owner wasn't there, the mom or the dad or somebody wasn't there, the cat wasn't going to get the care that it needed. And it was always sad because I know they were good cats.
Well, yeah.
Just something about the veterinarian office that they didn't, they didn't like. So
but we're emitting a vibe, and it's new and unfamiliar to them. So there's so many things we can do at home to make that experience better.
Yeah, and I think today it's so exciting to see the information coming out. People like yourself, especially, who are helping. Some of the pet parents, I call them pet parents, not everybody does, but some of the pet parents, they don't realize they have a resource to tap into. They sit at home and they're afraid and they don't know what to do. So I'm so excited that you're coming and that we can share the panel and everything that you're doing. So as we kind of wind down and make this a little bit of a short video so people will pay attention. Why do they have such short attention spans? I just don't get it. Anyway, I'm so excited. Tell us what your biggest, most favorite pet project is right now.
Oh, wow. That's a biggie for me. I'm doing a first of its kind 2016 Southern U.S. Pet Safety Tour this fall.
Awesome.
I have 17 cities on board planning events for me, whether it's a pet first aid class at an animal shelter, pet disaster preparedness training at a fire station, or reading children's books at a school or a library, or whatever fits the community. But I'm, giving it my all. I'm looking for sponsors to get an RV and to get this trip on the road. And like I said, I've already got 17 events planned. It's going to be about 10,000 miles. And I hope to really, in one concerted effort, help a lot of people help their pets live longer, happier lives by their sides.
Awesome. Now, I want to make sure that you send us the details of that so we can share it and everybody will know. We can give them here, but it's better if I have it in writing so I can share it and everybody can see it. So that's awesome. And I love the work you're doing. And I know you're also participating with Deborah Hamilton on something.
Oh, she rocks. And we're doing a My Pet and Me spa weekend in Desert Hot Springs, California this May, where we're getting people together with their canine best friends. Sorry, kitties aren't going to travel on this one. Sometimes we have to be species specific, but we're going to really make people make their plans that day, whether it is to learn to prepare for a disaster or plan for their pet's future in case something happens to them. Because we all say we're going to do things, and we don't always get it done. So we're going to make them get it done and enjoy it in a nice hot mineral spring pool and have a good time together.
Well, I see that as a big opportunity for our members and for you guys to take that on the road. So with that thought, I'm going to thank you, Denise, so much for being part of this and for coming to BlogPaws. And I can't wait to meet you in person. We're going to sign off today, and we'll see Denise in Phoenix.
Looking forward.